In 2019, Tottenham Hotspur stood on the biggest stage in club football.
Handanovic never recovered, and Christian Eriksen has given Tottenham the lead in the San Siro.
Harry Kane looking to widen the angle for the
Shot! Oh, he's done it! Harry Kane drives Tottenham Hotspur.
shooting chance, deflected, it's gone in. Well, they're back in it again, and more character shown by Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, and Lucas Moura deflected, and this time it does count.
That's a tricky. There is the full-time whistle. And it's Mauricio Pochettino's night. It's Tottenham Hotspur's night.
One match away from glory, one win away from history, one night away from becoming champions of Europe. But instead of launching an era of dominance, that night became the beginning of Tottenham's downfall. Just a few years later, the squad that reached the 2019 UEFA Champions League final was gone. The manager who built the team had been fired, and their greatest player had left the club. So how did it all go wrong? To understand the fall, we need to go back to the rise. In 2014, Tottenham appointed Mauricio Pochettino as manager. At the time, Spurs were a competitive team in the Premier League. They were never truly considered one of England's elite clubs. Pochettino changed that. He built a young, fearless squad that played high-pressing, attacking football. The team was energetic, aggressive, and incredibly exciting to watch. At the center of this project was one of the best strikers in the world, Harry Kane.
The shot! Oh, he's done it! Harry Kane drives Tottenham Hotspur, kicking it.
Alongside him were stars like Son Heung-min, Christian Eriksen, and Dele Alli. Together, they formed one of the most dangerous attacking groups in Europe. Tottenham quickly became a serious force in English football. In the 2016-17 season, they finished second in the Premier League with their best points total in the modern era. It felt like it was only a matter of time before Tottenham finally won a major trophy. Then came the magical Champions League run in 2019. Tottenham's journey through the UEFA Champions League felt almost unbelievable. They barely survived the group stage and then faced Manchester City FC in the quarterfinals in one of the most dramatic ties in Champions League history. But the real miracle came in the semifinals against AFC Ajax. After losing the first leg and falling 3-0 down on aggregate, Tottenham looked completely finished. But in the second half of the second leg, Lucas Moura produced a performance that Tottenham fans will never forget. He scored a stunning hat-trick, including a dramatic last-second winner in the 96th minute. Against all odds, Tottenham were going to the Champions League final. The final was against Liverpool FC, but just 2 minutes into the match, disaster struck. A controversial handball decision gave Liverpool a penalty, and suddenly Tottenham were chasing the game from the very beginning. They struggled to create chances, and Liverpool eventually sealed a 2-0 victory. Tottenham had lost the biggest match in their history. At the time, many believed this was only the beginning of something bigger for the club. Instead, it turned out to be the peak. After that season, everything started to fall apart. The squad that once looked young and unstoppable began to decline. Key players started leaving or losing form. Christian Eriksen eventually left the club, while Dele Alli, once seen as one of Europe's brightest young talents, struggled with injuries and inconsistency. The defense aged quickly, and the intensity that once defined Tottenham's football began to fade. Then came one of the most shocking decisions in the club's modern history. In November 2019, Tottenham sacked Mauricio Pochettino, the very manager who had built their golden generation. His replacement was one of football's most famous and successful coaches, Jose Mourinho. On paper, it seems like the perfect move. Mourinho had won trophies everywhere he had managed, but the exciting, attacking football Tottenham fans had loved began to disappear. The team became more defensive, results were inconsistent, and the club's identity felt lost. Tottenham did manage to reach the 2021 EFL Cup final, which gave fans hope that a long-awaited trophy might finally arrive. But in a decision that shocked the football world, Mourinho was sacked just days before the final. Tottenham went on to lose the match to Manchester City FC, extending their trophy drought once again. The instability continued. Another world-class manager, Antonio Conte, arrived with the mission of rebuilding the team. At first, things improved. Conte managed to guide Tottenham back into the Premier League top four and return them to the Champions League. But tensions inside the club quickly grew. In a dramatic press conference, Conte openly criticized the players and the culture of the club, accusing them of lacking ambition and mentality.
Selfish players. I see players that don't want to help each other, don't put the heart. And first of today, I prefer to hide the situation and to try with to speak, to try to improve the spirit situation with the words, with a lot of situation, because
Not long after, he left the job as well. Then came the moment that truly marked the end of an era. In 2023, Tottenham's all-time leading scorer, Harry Kane, finally left the club to join FC Bayern Munich. Kane had been the face of Tottenham for nearly a decade. He carried the team through its best years and became one of the greatest players in the club's history. His departure symbolized the end of the generation that once came so close to glory. But many fans believe the deeper problem lies above the pitch. Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy transformed the club financially and oversaw the construction of the incredible Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, one of the most advanced stadiums in the world. However, critics argue that while the club grew as a business, it never fully committed to winning trophies on the pitch. While rivals invested heavily to compete for titles, Tottenham often hesitated in the transfer market, slowly falling behind. Today, Tottenham still have passionate supporters, talented players, and one of the best stadiums in world football. But the club that once looked ready to dominate English football is now rebuilding once again. What once seemed like the beginning of a golden era turned into years of instability and missed opportunities. Tottenham were once one match away from conquering Europe. Instead, that night in 2019 became the moment everything started to unravel. And unless the club finally finds stability and a clear vision for the future, Tottenham risk becoming football's greatest what-if story, a team that came so close to greatness but somehow let it slip away.